Ha! Welcome back to part 3. In the previous episode, we measured the valve clearance and worked out that the intake valve clearance is incorrect. So in this episode, we are going to remove the intake cam, measure the old shims, work out what size new shims are we going to need, and order some new shims. Stick around. Before we do anything else, we need to bring the engine to TDC. If you don't know how to do that, check out part 2 of this video. I'll link it up here. Next step is to remove the cam chain tensioner, the one you can see here. We can remove that by removing these 2 Allen bolts. Before we remove the tensioner, we need to loosen this bolt here. We need to remove that bolt when we put the tensioner back in, so we can put a screwdriver in and retract the tensioning mechanism itself. Next step is to remove the camshaft. We need to loosen off these bolts here. To prevent damage to the cylinder head, camshaft or camshaft caps, we need to loosen the camshaft cap bolts in stages and in the crisscross pattern, starting from the outside in. It's very important to go in stages to prevent breaking or cracking the camshaft caps. I'm going little by little. There's not much room in here because of all the cameras. Oh, we're almost there. There we go. I can take the bolts out. Well, needless to say, we need to be extremely careful not to drop a bolt into the cylinder head. We need to remove the dowel pins as well. Do one at a time because I don't want to drop it in the engine. These two don't want to come out. I'll leave them for the time being. Once you've got the cam out, we can go ahead and take the valve buckets off. An easy way of doing it is, if you've got a valve lapping tool with the little suction cup on the end, you can use that to pull the buckets off. I don't have one of those. What I'll be using is a magnet to lift the valve buckets off. Now, I need to be very careful not to damage the cam journals. Just like that. You can see the valve shim in there. Now, I cannot stress this enough, how important it is to categorize the valve buckets. What I mean by that is you need to make sure this valve bucket, which we took off cylinder 1, valve number 1, needs to go back on cylinder number 1, valve number 1. What I'm using is a muffin tray. I'll show you guys in a minute. In the meantime, let's try and remove the other ones. This magnet might not be strong enough. Make sure the shim comes out as well. There we go. That's valve number 3. How I'm gonna remove this, I do not know. Oh, I'll leave that to the end. Let the shim in. Let me see if I can find a smaller magnet that will fit. And we're back. I found a smaller magnet. Shim in there, good. And the last one. Good, that's all the valve buckets out. Okay, let's have a look, shall we? Cam journals look pretty damn good, if you ask me. There's some light scuff marks, but there's nothing to write home about. Let's just check the other one. Yeah, same story. Camshaft itself, let's have a closer look at the cam lobes. There are some light scuff marks, no deep scoring, no signs of overheating. Yeah. Probably a little bit there, but can't really feel it with my fingernails. So I'm quite happy with that. So yeah, as I've mentioned before, I like using these muffin trays. I've got them labeled cylinder 1, intake valve 1, 2, 3. Cylinder 2, intake valve 1, 2, 3. And this way we got everything nice and organized. And with all that said, I'll wrap this video up. We're not going to measure the valve shims today, although I've said we would, but if we do that, this video will end up being half an hour, 45 minutes long, and I feel that's too long. So stay tuned for part 4. I hope you enjoyed that, folks. If you did, give this video a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down, and let me know in the comments below what can I do to make my videos better. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on future uploads. As always, take care, and I'll see you in a bit. Nanda out.